Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want no answers, I want them now.
We are back. Back up in here. Show number 3, all in question.
Oh man, that fast, man.
That-
Show number 3.
A week went by. Look at that. Quick.
Went by.
Yeah, a week went by. Things had happened, you know.
Oh man, you know how it is, man. Everything has to happen, you know. Oh man, it can happen in 1 second. It happened in 10 years, but it happens.
It happens.
Yeah, but we're gonna discuss it, you know.
You're going to discuss it. Let's get those big old zeros above the screen there. Got some big zeros right there.
Yeah, I think Ethan Hunt got the idea, you know what I'm saying? So the zeros are done with. He accepted the mission.
Yeah. So, what's been happening? Big in the news right now.
Well, right now, you know, today, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, helicopter crash
Yeah.
out in California, Casablanca. I was just asking you, because we discussed about helicopters and everything, and I was like, man, you know, what malfunction could have happened? What could have started this? What happened, probably?
Well, I mean, you know, like I was saying, helicopters are complex pieces of machinery. You know, we depend on those things for short jaunts and trips in America. No, not many of us use them. More people die in cars than helicopters. But unfortunately, when somebody does die in a helicopter or airplane, it's big news because, you know, it's rare. And then now looking at the celebrity of the person who passed and his daughter and other people who were on those planes, rest in peace to all of them, everybody.
Almost definitely.
You know, that was sad and bad to hear that.
Yeah, and then they really, like I said, tweaked me out. And they watched, somebody had put it on live or something like that. There was a helicopter going down, and then it went to a nosedive, and it did one of them Michael Bay scenes, man.
Yeah, I didn't see all that. I don't think I want to see that. That's the thing. For some reason, I can take in gratuitous fictional violence all day easily, you know. But if it's the hint of reality or that somebody actually died in that, then I can't do it. Reminds me of the Faces of Death tapes back in the day.
You brought up the Faces of Death.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, man.
Those were just don't want to get too morbid with it, but yeah, those weren't good at all.
And I was always wondering how video stores were able to show that, man.
Well, yeah, you know, the little gray market stuff. You know, wasn't quite against the law, but it wasn't all good either.
Well, it'd be what, rated X?
Yeah, you can consider it rated X or rated what was that NC? Was it NC?
Oh, it was past NC-17.
Yeah, NC-17. Yeah. No content like that. So it wasn't really rated by the board, but definitely not something that you want your children to see.
You know what? You know, speaking on this helicopter crash too, I'm always fascinated on how they work. You know, like I got an idea on how aircraft works, airplane. But I was always wondering,
how the helicopters work.
Yeah, you probably one of those
pitch and thrust. They're pretty easy. They're foot rudders at the bottom, and then you have the yoke to control your left to right, your forward and back, and you achieve lift first by throttling it upward. It pulls it up. Then you pitch the top rotor, the big rotor up top, and that pulls you forward. You know, you bank left and right, and using the tail the tail rudder. You know, that gets you turned, stabilized, and then you used to have to do all that stuff really manually. Now it's
What is automatic?
Yeah, well, not automatic, but it's really heavily assisted. Really heavily assisted.
I mean, I figured that in the day and age we in, I thought we'd see some more cooler helicopters, but what you say after the 90s, they stopped even kind of designing them a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, the battle helicopters, not so many of those. You have those for the military. They have a nice collection of them.
The Apaches and the Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks, yeah. You got the heavy carriers. Those things are pretty sweet. Okay, yeah, that's going good.
Well, that was current news or the big thing so far. Oh no, well that's one of the big things. Oh, the second thing is we kidding around here about plagues in the 20s, 1920s, 1820s. Then when we look up here, what's it, coronavirus?
Coronavirus.
I'm like, what?
That's a hot topic right now. Everybody's talking about it. People gonna get to speculating about it. Some people gonna start saying that the government is planning it here. You're gonna get those people. You're gonna get the other ones. This is why I don't vaccinate my kids. You're gonna get the ones. This is why I vaccinate my kids. You're gonna get a lot of that, and then you're gonna get that one person who gonna want to take advantage of all of this situation and and get some money out of it or get re-election out of it the best way he can.
Man, that's sick, man.
You got to point it at the enemy. You got to weaponize it. It's like I was brought in by the immigrants. I was brought in by the FBI.
See, y'all would not listen when I told y'all that we need to shut down the borders and the walls.
Right. He's gonna say all of that. Now we got coronavirus with a little lemon. That's what we got, folks.
And not to scare people, but I heard there was a case in this city. A 60-year-old black woman. I think they had a quarantine. Maybe that's a strong word, quarantine, but they got her in the hospital, isolated from everybody else.
Yeah, isolate them. That'll do. I mean, there's a thing. People are still dying from measles vaccination. That's what's killing me. More people have died from the measles vaccination than the measles themselves last year. So that's what I'm saying. We do a pretty good job at quarantining disease. Yeah, it's not too heavy work.
Yeah, they ain't to play with the black rats and everything that everybody knows it is just instant death.
Nah, not that anymore.
A CDC down there in Atlanta, I think they're taking care of business, or they are always working 24 hours to try to keep things contained, or not make it into a plague, even though people spread wide panic. Saying, "Oh, we're gonna die."
Because a lot of times the rumor of war is more dangerous than war itself.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But I didn't know exactly. I know it came from China, but I don't know. Was it Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong? Exactly where patient zero? Where were they at? I don't know exactly what city it came from. I was watching it and I seen a news reporter and they kept trying to get him out of the way, like, hey, leave. He kept trying to ask questions and they like, man, you have to go.
We got questions. Well, they're naturally curious. They got to know it's gonna kill them or not. They got to know.
So what brings me to mind about a lot of things is, they'll say this stuff is airborne, or somebody was in the airport going from country to country.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any kind of way that you can screen or you can set up shop at these airports to start like looking if somebody has certain diseases or something like that and stopping them and preventing them from getting on these airplanes?
You can do free airborne quarantine. But I mean, you are doing like what they call like a parts per million scan of the person from their cough or swabbing from their skin to get up tracers of what they may have, And so now you're getting into internment camping people. So you got to be careful with that. 1 minute you're worried about the cold, next thing you know, you started isolating a certain type of people. It's a slippery slope. You got to be careful with it. I myself would not go that route.
So you think somebody would turn this ethnic, like, they're carrying it, a certain kind of group, is carrying it, maybe with some kind of melanin or something like that. That's what they'll turn it into?
Like I said, given the drive and proper financing, you can do pretty much anything. You can weaponize, toys, information, food, transportation, anything. And then carry a story behind it and have an uninformed public. That's all it takes.
That kills me, man. That you're trying to prevent something that's horrific or could cause certain death, but you look at it's profit.
Profit, yeah. Profit makes the world go round. So it's the invention of money. So once we start, instead of changing fair goods for fair good, start doing credit for for it. It hasn't been the same since,
The sounded like a James Bond plot. You know, Spectre. You know, they done came up with a way to weaponize the virus.
Yeah.
And you know, they done put it into Hasbro toys. And yeah, your new Greek Mediterranean diets and everything like that.
Hasbro toys.
Hey, you said toys, man. They can spread them toys, man. I mean, food and everything. Everybody's gonna look for. What, drink or something?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your toys where your kids are always, I want this, daddy. Well, they go ahead and grab it, and then everybody in the house is, you know, man.
Gonna have to disinfect that microphone. He didn't corona it all over the place.
We're gonna put a cover over it. It'll be all right. Maybe we can give it some.
The guys that come in with the mask with the long breathing apparatus out front and the goggles and the short top stovetop hat.
Oh man, that's way back.
Yeah,
man. I thought that it integrated or got better over time.
No, that's some old. I mean, no, they don't do that now. I would hope.
I would hope so too.
I would hope they don't do that now. No, that would be horrendous.
So all in all, I guess we saying that pretty much that 9 times out of 10, you know, you're pretty safe. They got a handle on it. Even if your president might say something out of whack and make you even feel nervous, but they pretty much got it all in hand, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, for the most part, like I say, trust but verify.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh yeah, I trust you, but let me verify that what you're giving me is what you're giving me, because everything isn't a conspiracy out to get you, but there is always a way, because when there's a will, that will and that way is going to find the way together.
What was the last one before this? What was it? Case of Ebola or something in the United States?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Ebola breakouts, and it was another small virus that was happening. And everybody was up in arms about it.
Oh yeah, everybody needed the pens around that time. It was coming after them or something like that. Like it owed them money. I mean, or they owed it money and it was coming after them or something like that. But it was just a short panic, you know. So I think this is gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, it'll be in and out of here. On to the next one. It'd be no issue whatsoever.
So man, your week been good, man.
Oh, bruh. It's cold and the winter is not my friend. Cold and moisture, Chicago, or this weather, you know. And for those that don't know, I ride a bike to work, not a motorcycle. An electric bicycle to work. Gets you there fast and everything, but I'm still exposed to the cold of the Hulk of Chicago.
And not only that, he was riding his bike, I believe, in that freezing rain, not the snow. Was it the freezing rain?
Yeah, the freezing rain and the snow. I will do it all. Don't bother me.
You getting what, 30 miles per hour on your bike, or what? 40
At the max, about 42 miles an hour.
And so, all of that's hitting you quickly in your face, man.
Well, I wear a full face helmet.
I mean, I hear you, but somehow you gonna still feel that.
You don't feel it. Are you in a full face helmet, heated gloves, heated vest? You don't feel any of that
so
stuff.
So you're good on that end, then.
Yeah.
You know, but you gotta make sure that you're doing the derby.
Now that is the worst part. That's the worst part, because you end up getting almost run off the road sometimes by overzealous co-commuters. Well, truckers actually are good, because they'll see you on the bike, and like I say, I'm lit up. I'm wearing all black, but I'm lit up like 4th of July. So.
So they can definitely see you. I can see them. Oh man, I was red, orange, purple, green,
I was everything.
You seen me. So definitely. Oh well, that's good, man. How's the place of income, man?
9 to 5 is a 9 to 5. You get in, you get out, you ask no questions, you take their pay and you run. They take your soul, you take their pay.
No enjoyment whatsoever, man.
No enjoyment whatsoever. So, it's not to be enjoyed. It's to be a source of income.
Right. Well, I mean, same thing with my job, but I see some interesting things. Fire panel went off. They blame me. I'm not an engineer. You are. I'm not an engineer, so I was supposed to acknowledge the board, but I didn't do it right, so I got kind of chewed out for it, you know. But I took it in stride.
You were derelict in your duties.
How dare you?
One of the pipes busted. I mean, it was cold outside, so I'm surprised they don't have anybody on call as far as even having somebody sleep there.
Sleep there?
When it's that cold and those things happen.
Okay. So, say that was Wuhan, China, where that came out of. The patient era.
That's right.
Wuhan, China.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. There you go. Wuhan.
We appreciate your input.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What you get, man? She might be an honorary host one day.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get into the show, all you have to do is call us up or go in through Messenger. Send us a message through Messenger. All your messages go through. We see what you're talking about while you're talking about it. We make those things happen. Oh, where are we at now?
So, interesting thing that you brought up over the course of this week that wanted to talk about. That was black gun owners in the Second Amendment. You know, I think back when I had first got, you know, my firearms card. Initially, I wasn't even that gung ho on getting one. It was my job that made me get it. And they told all of us that we had to be armed, so we had to take the training and we had to go pick out a firearm. Well, we had to have a revolver. You know, walking around here with any 1911s or something like that at the time. But as I got, you know, started studying it more, and then my uncle, he trains people with firearms. I started getting more involved in it. And then you're starting to see, though, in the news that it's not quite the same with us owning a gun compared to maybe some other citizens.
Yeah, like the saying goes, it's all fun until the rabbit has the gun. Now that the rabbit has the gun, some people want to change their minds and tighten some things up. But right now, being that the Democrats are in power, that is a heavy push toward the other side of gun rights, whereas people want to put those only into the hands to protect those who make law. They don't want you to have a gun because who's to say that you are mentally capable enough? Who to say that you won't have a bad day at work and just spaz out and come take out your coworkers? You know, so they want to have it so that's limited. That you are checked. You need to be approved by us to do this. Yeah. Now look, and they'll say we won't even carry guns, but you know, we have a team that protects us 24/7 with guns.
Yeah. So how did they get picked? You know.
Exactly.
What pool are they pulled from?
Those people volunteer for military service, so their mental stability is in question. They volunteer to be a bullet catcher. So hey, you know.
Well, a citizen like me or you, or want to work, who just want to protect ourselves, or not, you know, prone to violence, or that is not our first option, or something like that, or we try to avoid violence.
Well, you get the question. People are like, why would you want a gun? That's one of the first ones I hear. Now, for me, initially, as a young kid, it's a piece of machinery. I'm loving the way the machinery works. You know, how you put it together, the how the bullets charge, the history of the whole thing, and then you are glamorized by seeing it in the movies and seeing it perform, like, whoa, and then you start to, like anything, if you become interested and you start to learn about it, then you learn about it and you learn that it really don't work like it does in the movie.
That's my mistake. Messing around with a Desert Eagle thinking it's cool on TV, but then, this is almost a shotgun in the end one for him. Yeah. Done for them all. No, man.
Yeah, because that's a 50 caliber bullet, so it's like in a high grain jacket, so it's no joke in a relatively short barrel, right. And all that power, so it will snap your wrist back.
You're lucky.
if you're smart, you know how to brace yourself up, and you can muzzle that and keep the threat down. I've shot them quite a few times, and I have no problem with them.
I mean, because you always, man, analytics with you.
Yeah.
So I know you ain't even picking up a gun.
And I'm just gonna pick it up, just hold it one hand, John Woo in it, sideways. Now, which one of you sons of? Nah.
I hate that sideways. Part, man.
I mean, but that's the thing about sideways. The sideways thing, they always say, well, that's a gangster thing. That's a get up. Anything to bring it down, to delineate it. To be truthful, the sideways thing was made for shooting over an object because you don't shoot this way. You can't present if you bring your head up, your head is now a target. So the sideways, there's a reason for the sideways. that way you can align your sights. You know, so that is a way to shoot. You know, it's just that when you see people doing it on doing it on TV and all that stuff, they're slinging it and it's like they're trying to bend the bullet Angelina Jolie style.
Yeah. Impossible as stance and everything. I gotta say I didn't really enjoy that. You know, making the bullet curve.
That was pure fantasy. So that was nice. You know, because I mean, if you're doing pure fantasy, so it's like, okay, this is not real. This is not a thing. You know, but now we get to the real world, and the issue is what we having right now, Second Amendment wise, is that the in Virginia they went completely Democrat. You know now, so I mean, this is Virginia. This is the home of the hillbillies. They upset.
Confederate flags,
Confederate flags, moonshine, and pickup trucks. You know, so probably not so many Confederate flags, but more of a rebel type of flaggy thing going on there.
What do you call Confederate flag?
Well, there's the battle flag, and then there's the actual state house flag. There's multiple flags. You know, it's all not the same. But for some of them carried around for that one and one only reason. But no. So these guys, you know, they were doing their thing. They were out there protesting changes to the Second Amendment rights to bear weapons. So they're limiting the kind of weapons that they can have. It got to a point. It was so funny, and I think it was just in joke, but they said that any weapon that was black, you know, it was that point. They said no automatic weapons. I'm like, that's the majority of what, and that's the problem. You get a lot of these people who are not educated on the subject, so they hear automatic gun. Oh my God, you know, there are not many automatic guns. You know, they are not in the hands of regular citizens. And if you do want to get one of these automatic weapons, they're not illegal, but there's a tax stamp that you have to get, and this tax stamp is like $20,000. You know, you want to pay $20,000 for a gun that, check this out, is not new, because I believe it's 1980. I'm fudging on the numbers, but 1985 or 6, somewhere around there, was you can't have a machine gun that was built, and that's where the machine gun would be one that for the pull of trigger you get multiple shots, so that's a machining, you know, like a sewing machine. So that's what defines a machine gun, and so they weren't allowed to build anymore. Though you're not allowed to build new ones. They're not for sale to the public. So you're only able to buy the old ones. Now, there are plenty of them, because think about the Russians and all that. There are plenty of these old Cold War era guns, AK-47s, all these things. There's millions of them out there.
Yeah.
But $20,000 for the stamp, this is before you buy the gun. You know, you know, the gun's going to fetch a crazy price because it's hard to get, you know. So it's going to be collectors who are getting them like that. Now, they be like, oh, what about these little things you add on, like bump stocks and bite triggers and, you know, these things that give people more shots than one. Now, if you ever shot a bump stock, it makes the gun worse. The kick up is ridiculous. And there's a way you have to hold the gun to allow it to slide back, because that's basically what it's doing, allowing free space within the trigger so that the gun can slide back and forth, and your fingers can slide back and forth inside the trigger well. You know, banging up against the trigger like that. It's just basically a loose stock on the rifle.
That ain't good, man.
You know, but it's not loose in the sense that it'll break, but it's loose in the sense that that's what it do. But that's not good in the sense of
not even
aiming it.
about breaking.
Yeah, as far as like hitting your target. You know, a fully automatic weapon is only good for suppression. You know, not for picking off targets. That's for like We got to get out of here. Just start shooting. You know, just to open a space. That's to get other people to duck. You know, you will not hit them because there's the buzzer rise as you shoot. You're not gonna get shots on target. You know, so a 2-round burst, yeah. You know, but 3 and 4 not so much. You know, but it makes for you've seen all the Boys in the Hoods and all those movies, and they get with Uzis. You know?
Oh yeah, they had Uzi.
You know, things like that, and how ridiculous that looks from them trying to shoot and whatnot, and they don't hit anything. You don't hit anything. I mean, in the movies, they kill everybody. You know, they kill this, they kill the little girl. It's funny. The thing has multiple rise, yet you killed the smallest thing on the field, and that's how they flip it in the movie. You know, to demonize that. Now, do I think guns are for everybody? No, guns are not for angry people who are easily driven to anger. Guns are not for the mentally insane, not those suspected to be mentally insane, those who are proven insane. The guns are not for those those who have violent criminal records. Now, if you have a criminal record and it's non-violent, then no problem. But if it involves violence, then no. I'm not going to give you a false. That's what a gun is, a force multiplier. I'm not about to multiply your force. So no, not that. But then that's when you get into the weeds, because you got people who like guns and all this stuff, like myself, and that don't admit that everybody shouldn't have it. They'll go, well, a right denied is a right. Everybody needs to be able to exercise the constitutional right. This is not. And the thing is about that Second Amendment, that the reason that you're to have that gun is to defend yourself against the government, right, against government tyranny. It's to go against that, not to defend your farm and whatnot. It's specifically for that reason. The issue is, if I'm the government, why would I want you armed? I want you to roll over and take what I'm about to give you.
And it's definitely, I want to say antique. I mean, not antique, but ancient. An ancient rule, the Second Amendment. But it was 1776 when they established these amendments, or a little around that time.
A little afterwards.
So now we in 2020,
mm-hmm.
and things have changed.
Things have changed, and this is the thing. If you want to go like for like, because it's like you need a well-rounded militia. You wanted that. If the thing is, well-rounded militia, in this day and age, means that you got to have an aircraft carrier, you got to have an MRAP, you got to have some rocket launcher. You got to be well prepared.
Damn, man, you said RPG?
The RPGs, you got to have it all. Because I got to have like for like. What they have, I have to have. And then you have these yahoos that say, well, I know my people in the military, they will not turn on the U.S. citizen. Oh, yes, they will. It's in the paperwork to do so. And it's not turning on you. It's following an order. That's all.
And then, it's fascinating, too, when you had brought up those Democrats versus the Republicans, because the Republicans on the right wings, they're all for, what the citizens having the guns, or, well, certain citizens.
Certain,
right?
Yeah. Limited. It's limited, but when they need their numbers bolstered, they will say, we need everybody, all hands on deck. This is a sinking ship and we need everybody on. So they'll do that.
And I mean, let's say you're working not working, but you living in a certain environment, and you're a straight-laced cat, but you living around some crooked people, who are armed and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me you're going to take away their right to defend themselves? Like I said, they're not even looking for trouble. They're just trying to get to that point A and point B, to point A and point B.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have, a little trouble getting to that point. So you want to make sure that you're getting home. Yeah.
Safety is primary concern. And then when they say they want to ban all guns, okay. My thing is, and this is the thing. Now, as much as I love weapons, I would get rid of every last one of mine if you were saying you're getting rid of everybody else's. I would have no problem getting rid of it whatsoever because I can be just as entertained with a butter knife, you know. So, but you're not going to get rid of everybody else's. There are going to be some that have it. There are going to be a group that has it. So when the hits the fan, you won't be prepared, So no, and if you're smart, you would take up machining. You would learn how to operate a CNC machine. And then there's nothing you can't not have. So don't
elaborate on that.
No, I mean, I think I've said it before here. Working with your hands. Learn how to do things for yourself. Learn how to grow your own food. Learn how to fix your own vehicles. Learn how to repair your own house. Learn these basic skills. And once you got these basics down, then you'll be able to graduate to things that are a little bit more advanced. Make your own music. Make your own.
Make your own music.
No, more advanced. Check it out. Because hey, can you carve a violin?
No.
Hey, see, so there you go. That's something that you can do. So there you go. Make your own music. That's not a skill that's so difficult. Now, I'm not saying you won't be able to make it perfect. No.
I'm sorry. No, I mean, because I give certain people certain credit for this talent, the skills they have. Like, I can't orchestrate beautiful music like I was Mozart or Beethoven. I give them the respect of
because they are them.
Like that. Yes,
they are them. But there's this thing: you're not being them.
I'm giving respect to the guys who can open up a car, look and tell you exactly what's wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
Take those parts apart, lube them, do everything they're supposed to do,
mm-hmm.
and then being able to put it all back and have that car running better than it was.
But do you believe that those people are ordained to do what they do? That they were born with that? No,
I believe they have that talent. They've been gifted with those talents.
I believe that's not a talent. That is the human will. This thing was put together by a human.
Yes.
Why can't it be repaired by a human?
I'm telling you, the human who can do it.
That's what I'm saying. But you're giving that person a certain designation as to be special.
And they're special at doing it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm giving them credit for doing it.
No. See, this is the thing.
Oh my God.
This is the thing with society today. Everybody gets a star. No. There are no special people.
There's no special people.
No.
I'm gonna let you finish.
There are no special people. There are those who can and those who won't. What the little green guy said, there is no try. There's just do or do not. So there's the thing. I didn't say you have to be perfect at anything. Some people won't even give a thing a chance. They will look at something and go, I don't know how to do that, and walk off. Not even touch it. I mean, not even give it a thought that maybe you could do this. I think you should at least get your beak wet. At least try. And some people are like, oh, you'll destroy it. You may. You may hurt it. Some things you won't destroy. But if you don't even try, I mean, what's the use of being around? You waste of space. Because like I say, if we were doing this, hits the fan situation, and I had to pick my team, some people wouldn't make it. What?
Is that what we're doing now?
The censor? Because I don't want to say hits the fan. Try to make it less. It'll remind me to pick another word. Get deeper into my thesaurus.
Yeah, or we minimizing. I mean, we're not saying it too much, but I think if you say it every once in a while, like every 20 minutes of the show, that'll be all right.
We're gonna minimize.
But you're telling me, like, I don't believe everybody can be a fireman. I don't think everybody can be a cop.
Pause. You don't believe that everybody could put out a fire?
No.
If there was a fire right here, you couldn't put it out. Fire on the table. Wait, no. You talking about? I know what you're saying, but it all starts with the seed. You have to plant that seed. Anybody can become a cop. All they have to do is stay in the academy, stay fit for a few months. Less time than it takes to be a beautician. It's harder to be a beautician than it is to be a cop. Firemen not so much, but still, respect them. But still, All of it starts off with a duty. They just assigned a certain amount of standards to this duty, and then it became a thing.
Like you said, though, you got people out there who got anger problems and stuff like that. You like you said, they shouldn't have guns. They should not be cops. If you got anger problems and somebody say something wrong to you, you're pow, 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 yeah. I'm the law. Like the Judge Dredd, you know.
I am the law. But that's the thing, though, right now. I mean, people do have those aversions toward other people. You get people who are in law enforcement that say they hate people. You know, you got people who work with law enforcement say they hate cops. It's like, that's close quarters. You know? So, I mean, that does happen. The thing is about being a cop, and it's the fear I see from what I've seen. From just me being a citizen, seeing it. You got everybody arriving hot on the scene. Nobody's taking the time to assess the situation at all. You have multiple people barking out orders to one suspect, trying to overwhelm that person. And then what's going to happen is, and I'm like, wait, they don't teach these people psychology? What happens when multiple people scream at one person? You do nothing. You freeze up because there's auditory inclusion, and you can't hear what's going on. But everybody believes that they have to, at that moment, show these other dogs that I am the louder dog in the yard, and I will scream out this order louder. You heard me, Wilson? I heard you, Johnson. You was like, get down, buddy, get down. I heard you.
That's the problem.
You know,
I mean, the academy.
that little bit, that competition going outside of that, and like I said, they putting out a fear product. You make it home safe. Trust me, you will make it home safe. You know, but the electrician has less chance of making it home safe than the cop does, and that's a fact, absolute fact. He has a more likely chance of dying every day than the cop does.
The electrician.
Yes. If you look at let's look up the most dangerous jobs list. The cops falls way down the line. It's so far down.
Well, let's do that, man.
You got. I think the top is the loggers at the moment. You look it up. You know.
He told me
There you go.
You look it up.
Exactly. Look it up.
You brought it up.
I brought it up. You look it up. But it's that. It's just that their job is mostly, for the most part, customer service orientated. You know, and then putting out those small fires.
Well, you know, next month, being Black History Month, we're going to talk about where it originated from.
Oh yeah, policing, officers. Yeah, remember that. But yeah, like I say, I don't have a problem with the idea of policing.
Okay, just for Mr. Romano,
Yeah,
we gonna run it down, and I can't believe I'm looking at this, and they actually have this list.
Yeah, multiple lists. Number one,
Logging workers.
Number one, logging workers.
Logging workers.
Think about it.
One dangerous job in America.
In America, reason being, they work 90 to 200 feet above the ground with a gigantic electric knife. I mean, gasoline-powered knife, and they swing it. Come on, more people die doing that job than anybody.
Oh, this really gonna get you.
Number two,
fishermen and related fishing workers.
Exactly, because they work on the open ocean, highways. Waves are 30 feet tall. You got ships that are getting these waves, and they got gigantic steel cages sliding back and forth. You seen ice fishermen and all those? Man, never.
You don't know what they getting into though when they know.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they know, they know, and they do their job well. They don't bitch about it. They do it. They get their Gordon Fisherman joint on, and they do it. They out there getting the nugget.
Don't they look at the news if there's gonna be high waves or something like
They
that?
know. They know the season. They know the season. You know the season of it. How the season's gonna be. It's pretty good.
Number three. Now this I can understand because we were talking about this. Aircraft pilots and flight engineers.
Yeah. Okay. Aircraft pilots. Yeah, because like I said, it's a precarious job. There's a lot going on at the same time. I mean, you saw what happened today. It's specialized machinery that teeters on the brink sometimes, and things happen like that. So yeah, that's pretty bad. And flight engineers, of course, they're working on these things that are basically little explosions happening. So
now I'm finna really laugh. Number 4, roofer.
Yeah.
Roofer.
Reason I won't get on my roof.
So starting off a roof is more common than a cop being shot.
A lot more common.
Wow.
A lot. Like I said.
Think about harnesses or something.
No. Harnesses are a standard for roof workers. I have one attached to my house permanently. You know, but the thing is, though, stuff happens. You can fall through weak spots. You know, you can be attacked by a rabbit squirrel gang. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Number 6. Drivers, cell workers, truck drivers.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. 10 hours of driving legally is what you're supposed to be doing over the road and whatnot. And some of them push that, you know. Some of them are hopped up on caffeine. Some of them are bad health condition because you're in a job where you're sitting down constantly, poor circulation. And you can definitely hurt yourself.
Oh, yeah. And then the strange things on the road. I mean, like I think you mentioned when you were driving the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Those mountains. I don't know how the hell y'all drove in them mountains, them Appalachian mountains.
Oh yeah, mountain passes and all those types of things. That's horrifying.
And you said no rails?
Well, some places there are rails, but they're slow. They're low. I mean, the rails are not going to stop a truck. If they're going through, it's going through. But and then when you see like burrs of tires and you're up against the railing, like somebody dozed off for a second. Yeah, a lot more.
Number 7, farmers, ranchers, and other
Agricultural
agricultural
workers.
Yeah, I'll do that from time to time. Some of my words, you know.
Yeah, I mean, with farmers, agricultural workers, think about it. You're working around in fields, heavy machinery, and sharp tools.
So what I ain't doing is telling you what the fatalities are for a year. I'll tell you this one.
Yeah.
So fatal injuries per full-time equivalent, 100,000 workers, 24.7. Total fatalities, 257. Most common fatal accidents, transportation incidents. Total non-fatal injuries, 280. The median annual wage, $24,620,000. Number of workers, 876, 300,000.
See, that's a lot.
Here's one that I kind of thought was gonna be up there, and I always wondered who's crazy enough to do it. Structural iron and steel workers. That is number 8 on the most dangerous jobs in America.
Yeah, because I mean you're up there floating. You're high above the city, being held up by a thin strap of webbing. And it slips. You can fall. I mean, not even fall. If you slip, you're gonna slip, hit your side on a piece of steel, and dangle.
Man, you put a movie script together, man. I mean, you really thinking about that, and not just the fall itself, but man, almost some Looney Tunes. Hit this wall, hit this iron, hit this crack.
Exactly. It ain't gonna be like John Wick, you know, the bounce, and you disappear. No. There will be blood.
You know, I used to hear that they used to get Native Americans to do that because they were not scared of being up there.
Yeah.
And they could walk that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's true today.
Well, these Native Americans mostly live in the deserts now in Arizona, whatnot. So, but
good point.
These are different kind of people.
First line supervisors of construction trades and extraction workers.
Yeah, exactly.
That is number 9 on the most dangerous jobs in America.
Thinking about that, you going that these people jobs are to go help people who are stuck, and they end up dying.
I wouldn't want that job then.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, some people are called to it.
Huh?
Some people are called to it, man.
Yeah, you listen to them. Some people are called to it. Ain't that what I was saying?
Mm-hmm.
And number 10. First line of supervisors for landscaping, lawn service, and ground. What? What?
Yeah. Again, heavy machinery.
For cutting grass.
Heavy machinery.
So somebody's dying a lot over,
Think about it. Those mowers that they sit on, 40-inch blades, 2 of them. Boom, 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 boom. You get off, letting it run, and you slipped. Arm got caught. Boom, right up underneath there. Gone. Arm gone. That's why I said. And did you see law enforcement anywhere on that list? No. Because, like I said, the fear in their job is a psychological one. Not induced by themselves, but fed into, daily. You put them into positions where you make it a them, and that's any situation. If I was to make you work at a fast food place and I put you on the counter and I told you, now these people at lunchtime, these are the worst customers. You ain't never seen them before.
I've been there.
These are the worst ones.
Security,
And this
I've
is
been
this.
there.
They go. I'm telling you, it's going. And you got this person getting all nervous and whatnot because he just did the breakfast crowd and it was cool. Everybody just got their McNuggets and griddles and chilled. And you telling me that these meat eaters gonna come in and they want the meat with no salad. It's gonna be wild. But they come. So I'm embracing. And those kids are gonna want to use the bathrooms and mess the place up. It's gonna be hell. You gotta be ready, Johnson. For some reason, everybody named Johnson. Who gets the worst jobs in my scenarios? You got to be ready, Johnson.
Johnson, tough people, man, even since the 1800s.
So Johnson sitting back there, she freaking out. See, I made a I flipped it. She freaking out, like, oh no. And then as soon as somebody came in who's on their phone, like, what? No, I don't know. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, let me get. Hold on. What? And now Johnson's sitting there. I don't know what's going on. Are they disrespecting me? No. Maybe it's I don't know. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and ask my sister about it. He's looking at me. I gotta say something. Hey, ma'am, can I help you? Hold on, wait. Okay, ma'am, can you move to the side? Come back. She's already upset. Now it's an argument. Now it's loud. Now I'm scared. Now I know what she said they were gonna do to me about these people. These people are wow. These people are animals. I'm horrified. Help me, Mr. Wizard, please help me.
In some cases, what the manager does is they cussing out their employees because they're not moving fast enough.
Yeah.
All these damn people coming out here. We need all these 4-for-4s done. And, everybody need a double stack now. And then she said she ain't want no cheese on that. Are you listening?
He said that she said she didn't want no cheese.
Hey man, it was real. So but I get it. You saying they putting this thought in their head.
Yeah.
And in reality, it's just exaggerating to the utmost. I mean, stretching that rubber band all the way
exactly.
a mile,
Right. And the rubber band gets around the neck and it gets tight and they get scared.
And they didn't even put down anything with the military that was dangerous. I just think that, well, you always say people are not like that, just because they rob banks don't mean that they're going to automatically shoot at you.
Yeah.
Even if they want to try to get away. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
No, that's not their first intention. Their first intention is to make sure they can hang that right and hit the expressway and hopefully and praying to Allah, Jehovah, anybody that they don't run into a cop.
Yeah. Wait. They are hoping that they get away. Like I say, most crime is a crime of opportunity. So they see the opportunity to do so. They're going to try to go the easiest way to get it, to go do it. They're not going to show a gun. Why am I going to get a gun? If I get a gun, then I might have to use it. If I have to use it, then they're going to up my time if I get caught. Now I'm worried about getting caught more than I am about what I need the money for initially. See? You can talk yourself out of crime real quick and real easy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wish I'd known people like that.
Oh, that's the thing. You do. You know more people like that than you know ones who actually did it.
Do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing. If everybody was a criminal, if everybody was bad, there would be more people in jail than there are people outside of it. But the thing is, the number of people in jail is so minuscule compared to those outside of jail. Now, the numbers are nothing to sniff at. But in comparison, the people outside to those that are inside, these are the ones that just got caught.
I would love to hear this from a police's perspective.
An officer's perspective?
Yes.
We would need an officer to call in.
You need somebody to call in, or
like I said, you can bridge them in. Yeah, we can take them in live.
Well, I was seeing if we got to call them or do they have to call us?
Yeah, either way, it doesn't really matter. You know, but you know, it's a culture of fear. If you're breeding fear constantly, what we getting is we getting a buffer error. Oh, okay. Oh, we streaming at a very high pace.
I would think so.
Oh, that's why. It's like it's flashing yellow. That's not good.
Flashing yellow. What's going on here?
Yellow means that we are tinging all the boxes because we are broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook right now. We are simultaneously simulcasting, as they say, in the business. in the business.
Black.
Yeah, we are simultaneously simulcasting in the business.
So we're gonna try to reach a law enforcement friend.
A law enforcement friend.
I call him Black.
I think you should have pre-called him to let him know that you was going to do
I
that.
called him 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Yeah, that's a short notice. Super short notice.
I told him Sunday.
Nah, you got a pre-call.
Well, that didn't work.
Ain't that some?
But that's all right though.
He said, but that's all right. Yeah, you have to pre-plan those. Much like I'm trying to get that thing to
But
do that.
I'm like I say, I'm just shocked that it's not up there with the rest of the farmers and the roofers and everything like that. I would have took it as
He said in the roofers.
the guys who actually clean the windows on these skyscrapers. You could have gave me that. I would have. Yeah, man. That is a dangerous job.
Okay.
But you told me a roofer, somebody who's just putting shingles up on the top of somebody's house.
Definitely. The roofer is the goat. Yeah, he's going to. Oh, okay, I see what was happening. So I was streaming to Facebook 2 times. So yeah. Oh yeah, because I was using 90% of the resources, sending 3 high definition 4K streams.
Speaking of police officers,
Not 4K, 1080p.
one thing we also discussed that, or we brought to mind was, do we need like our own race of police to police our communities?
Community policing. Community policing. I like community policing. It sounds good. The only, if I can play, let's play devil's advocate. So that's what I do best. The only strike against that is that with community policing, everybody has to be from that community. So you're going to have smaller communities. It's going to be small because everybody don't want to be a cop. Everybody don't want to trick on each other. The good thing about it, you know the people. You know who's this, who's that. You walk the beat, and we had beat cops before, and we got beat cops now. I mean, you hardly ever see them outside of the car, inside of the non Gold Coast area. What do you see? Look at him.
Well,
Just
continue.
You never see them out. You never see them outside of the Gold Coast area and those more areas frequented by businesses and tourists. In your neighborhoods, you see them in cars patrolling, and in that sense, they look like someone on a prowl. They look like they look like an occupying force. Especially when you only see one, and then if an incident breaks out and suddenly there's 40, it's like, what? They're coming from everywhere. I have the Ring app on my phone because I have the Ring doorbell. Yeah, I have the Ring doorbell, and on there it tells you every time when somebody did something, that somebody seen a police car, stuff like that. People report these things. They take pictures and all that stuff, and the amount of things you see happen. And you can put in whatever zip code you want to say you're from. So I switch up zip codes all over the city. And people snitch around the city just the same. Just the same. You think people be telling, like, oh, they're telling someone. No. They're telling all over the city. You got people on the west side telling, people on the north side telling, Gold Coast area telling, East Coast telling, East is Lakefront telling, South side telling, like all that. Which my thing is, I have no problem if you're telling. It's if you're telling to fix the problem. If you're telling just to be a Lonnie reporter, like, look what I saw. No. Tell. Point them out. I want you to go to the lineup. Point them out. Let me know who it is. Let's fix the problem. And don't put no band-aids on it.
So just to be clear, you're talking about people who almost like neighborhood watch?
Almost like. Something like a neighborhood watch.
Let's put a scenario down here since you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if you agree or you feel that it's their obligation. So you got somebody terrorizing the city, not even the city, a part of the city, or a block. You know he's dangerous. You know he's shooting people and everything. Innocent people, kids or something like that.
Yeah.
Would you tell the police, or is that considered snitching?
Oh, I don't care for the whole snitching thing. I don't care about that. Yeah, if I know this person is committing crimes and people are dying from this crime, the life comes before that any of those little codes. So yeah, he's out of there.
You know what fascinates me?
He don't.
Where these codes come from, and what is the logic?
Well, these codes come from being cool with criminality. There's something being cool about being criminal adjacent. I'm not a criminal, but I know dudes that'll get you. You got church sisters that'll tell you, I won't do, I ain't gonna do all that, but I got a cousin that did it. Threw your cousin under the bus real quick as a delinquent. So that's where that comes from. It's not healthy at all.
And a lot of police would say that, well, y'all complain in y'all neighborhoods, but y'all don't tell us nothing. So what y'all expect us to do when crime is committed, and then we try to find out or try to get some information and nobody says anything?
Exactly. You got people who are who don't cooperate with the law enforcement, but the issue is somewhere with that was that at some time they weren't protecting those witnesses. Those witnesses were getting retaliated on because these people were getting low bonds and getting right back on the street.
Right.
And then either hurting that person if what they did will lead back to some real time, or they would just harass people around. I was like, man, I got to see this person every day. Was that movie Strapped? That's basically what that movie was all about. Intimidation. Jeez. You gotta see Bamboo.
Don't even be started with that. Hey man, what was the name of that song? Oh my god. But anyway, like, to me, if I know somebody is messing with kids, somebody's a serial killer, snatching women off the street or something like that, and dispose of them in some kind of way, yeah, I can't sit there and just watch that.
No.
And just be like, well, I'm no snitch. So I know that the guy is out there really causing harm and damage, and then especially with kids. Right. Yeah. What's the honor in that? Oh, I'm not a snitch.
Yeah, like I said, it's to be criminal adjacent, just to say I'm part of something. I know such and such, and I know such and such, and I know such and. Well, you write him letters and put something on his books, 'cause he's going to jail. I saw it too. It was him. It's gone.
And then another thing, about what type of police I guess you wanted in the neighborhoods, and I had called a couple of people who were in law enforcement, and I was like, is it a good idea just to have black cops in black neighborhoods? And they're like, man, it's more complex than you think it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like I say, it's a culture. It's a culture. You have to break that culture up, because you got people who are from our own race who are white supremacists.
Exactly. Yeah, they said it'd be harder on us than anybody. And they're like, we were.
Well, no. I don't care about harder. I care about fair.
You care about fair, right? If I know a kid is a good kid, but he's messing around with the wrong crowd or something like that, I'm not going to be like, I'm finna ruin your life. I'm finna lock you up and you're going to learn. If I can stray you to a better path or something like that. I'm a law enforcement agent, and I'll be like, okay, look here, I'm gonna scare you, but you're not gonna get in trouble. Now you keep going down this road, ain't nothing I can do for you, and I mean, you're a good kid, so you shouldn't be doing this. Not to say that
But see,
a demon see like, man, f him. He
in
gotta
that
go down.
in that case, you are actually acting more as a counselor, which is fine. Like I said, customer service should be part of their job. It is part of their job. Customer service is. The issue is that some of them, like, they don't treat you like, well, it's the way they administer the advice too. So they have to be more of a counselor. Be a little more calm with it, or get people to that. They should have some type of basic counseling skills. That's a must.
I mean, but are you get what I'm trying to establish or trying to say, as far as for the cops who do kind of care about the neighborhood, and they might see kids growing up, and like they don't want them to go down the road that they see other people.
Yeah. And that's it. And a good cop will see the source of that problem. Is it something happening at the house? Is it a specific child that's doing this to getting other kids to act the way? Then what's wrong with this child? Why is he behaving this way? Something going on in his home and school? Right. Let's find out. Let's dig into that. Do a little investigating before it gets because this little itch becomes a rash later. So you fix it now.
Like you said, you gotta have that state of mind, because then they might be the police might be recruiting gung ho Marines, white Marines and everything, and they put them on 79th.
Militarization of the police. That's ridiculous.
And he wants to arrest or pop everybody he sees or something like that. Oh, they're going down today. It's a new type of law here, and I'm gonna bring it.
Exactly. You got Johnny PTSD out there, just hurting people because he's hurt. So, yeah, that's not the way.
Now, you saying like that's coming from, let's just say, the academy, or they training them like that, or maybe they partner, because I might have seen it where a partner's been seasoned, he knows the way of doing things, and then you got this gung ho young hot blooded like I say ex-Marine, and he's telling him, man, hey, that ain't how you do it over here. And he, I know what, man, I've seen this before. They're going down.
See, well, I mean, anything for me, it would be speculation. I'm not a cop, but like the way I would see it is that each one teach one, and if you are out there before this other person, you giving them the what's what. As far as how things operate out here on these streets, you are responsible for their safety, and you are also responsible for them as a weapon. They are a weapon, and you can turn them loose on the wrong people for the wrong reasons, and now you have this person with this mindset that's out there hurting people. Not a good thing.
Yeah, that's definitely not. And then we got 10 or 12 of them, hitting the street. Then it makes things worse, Like, we know you got bad apples out there. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I think that if you talk to somebody a certain way, even if they don't show it in their actions, they listen, and then they start, trying to ease up on things. But if you all gung ho and they all charged up and ready to go too,
exactly,
it's disaster.
Everybody's trying to alpha dog each other. That won't work. That will not work. It won't work at all. But they try to do that, and you see the disasters. Like we were saying, people running up on a scene, cops running up on a scene, masked and loud, ready, cocked, ready to go.
Van Dyke.
They cocked and ready to go, ready to do their thing. Boom, end up shooting at each other. People getting killed in crossfires and whatnot. It's madness.
Yeah, and I mean, you go into a situation, it's about 15 of you police officers, one kid. He don't have a gun, and he gets shot 12 times.
That's enough.
I mean, like I say, I've been trained with firearms. I know what they can do. If I can incapacitate you with one shot to your leg or something like that, I don't think that I'm worried about him coming at me anymore. But
Well,
then again, I hear that they were saying, oh, not shoot to kill, but extreme force. If you pull it out, then be ready to use it. That type of mentality.
well, yeah. I mean, that's somebody pulling their own yank. Uh, they pulling at their own cord and whatnot because, yeah, linemen are also put that up there.
I mean, it goes back to what you're saying though, like how they can talk. I mean, it is difficult to me sometimes to think about how to address certain or situations.
Motion detected at the front porch.
Such as like, if you are somewhere where there's a lot of shootings going on, I mean, I think you'd be an idiot not to think about protecting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, though, it's not. I don't know if you want to have that. Oh, I'm taking them out before they're taking me out attitude.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what's given to a lot of them. It's like get them before they get you, because they're gonna get you. So you feed somebody fear, you gonna get back shit made of fear.
Now you say.
I'm sorry, I mean made of fear.
No, man. You missed it.
I missed it one time.
You missed it.
One time.
But you know what? It's just like me when I'm working security and somebody telling me, "Oh man, this is a high risk site. You gotta watch this, you gotta watch that, and everything like that."
Mm-hmm.
So I got the mentality that I gotta watch myself.
So
then I start working it, and I start learning it,
exactly,
and I start understanding what, like, it might be a little dangerous, but it's not as high a risk as they saying it is.
Exactly.
Sometimes you gotta observe for yourself.
Because you out there in the woods all jacked up and whatnot. I'm like, I'm ready for it. They told me it's ready, and you standing there looking like, ain't nothing happening tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go home and chill. But you're always ready. It's unnecessary. I mean, the training, you train. And if you're well trained, then you're well prepared. You train. Nothing wrong with training. You're good. But don't let it get into your head that everybody's your enemy. Everybody's out to get you. It's ridiculous.
That's paranoia.
It's the coronavirus with a little lemon. That's what it is. It's corona with a little lemon. It's all falls apart.
He's doing his tech work still,
Oh yeah, I'm always
doing his tech work, making sure that it comes clear.
Always checking, gotta put a good product out there,
Is this 4K?
Well, that is, but then it's down converted to go onto the internet, because pushing a 4K stream is indubiously a job.
I imagine that, But hey, look, it's sharp enough you can see us and everything. You didn't always have 4K. You didn't always have. I can't remember the one that was before that. You remember you had to turn the TV with the tube, So it's all good right here, as long as you see us and it's crystal clear. I think the product's good.
He said, I think the product's good.
But then again, if you don't think so, like you said, we got comments, and we even put the comments on the screen.
On screen comments, yes, that's good to see that, because the last comment was Swayne Rick saying linemen are so extremely dangerous jobs, and not so as ice road truckers. Yeah, dangerous jobs.
Linemen.
She's talking about. See, I caught myself. She's talking about the guys who do the power line work.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you're dealing with electricity.
Oh yeah.
Anything can happen with that.
You will be French fried. You will see God's face quickly.
She said ice truckers.
Yeah, ice road truckers. I mean that's a TV show, but basically truckers who ride along the northwest of the country, making deliveries on frozen lakes.
Sitting around there like Minnesota and going around close to Canada and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely that.
Yeah, they're more dangerous than being a cop.
It can be. I wouldn't say it is 100%.
I got a question here though.
What's that?
So, like we're talking about dangerous, there's something that came to mind. I talked to this resident in this building I work at, and I was telling him about clean energy, and he was like, "Don't think that clean energy doesn't have its own, not risk, but setbacks and consequences too." What did I say?
I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, I didn't see that, man. You got a single trigger already.
I was ready.
Anyway, so I did my research and everything like that, and they were saying like when you put up these wind turbines or you got the solar panel machines and everything. Number one, solar panel machines use so much lithium, for batteries and stuff that might be dangerous. And then they were talking about the wind turbines. They were saying that can kill wildlife, and then you're taking four times the amount of putting like a nuclear plant.
Well, there'll always be some discord on how much we are putting out there to get these cleaner technologies. There has to be a building phase. There has to be a correcting phase. There is an impact, but the impact is not as great as digging for a fuel that isn't going to come back. You're just digging deeper and deeper and deeper to get to it.
Right.
So compared to something else that is making a mess while you're trying to get the system down, whereas it's not going to be a mess for long. It will clean. It will be cleaned. We will shorten the routes. We will shorten the transportation to get to these things because the sun isn't going anywhere. And the thing is, if the sun does go anywhere, that's it for us anyway. We gone. So there's no us around. So that wouldn't even matter at all.
And then he tried to say something about what kind of pollution it causes when we recycle plastic. He's like, look at China. Oh, they wearing masks over there all the time because there's so much pollution over there, and that's with something to do with the recycling of plastic.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, they definitely are wearing masks and whatnot. They have to. It's larger population. They do deal in recyclables. They have a lot of recyclable plants. They take in a lot of people's recyclables around the planet. China's the majority of people. You can almost say majority of people live in Asia. There's a lot of people there. So yeah, they do have air quality issues. And the thing is that they are experiencing the boom of being where we were in the 50s, 40s, and 50s and whatnot. They're getting that boom now. And everybody want to have cars. Everybody want to have the brand new this, that, and the other. Now we telling them they can't have it because it's going to ruin the world for the rest of us. But they're like, wait a minute, you guys had yours. So look at that. What's that? Monkey see, monkey don't want to do.
Well, we had 3 people in our household. Y'all got 25, in each household.
That's what I'm saying. But am I supposed to be denied the luxury, not the luxuries, but the amenities that you were able to get?
That happens.
See, look at that. And see, that's what I'm saying. People want fair, but not for everybody. Fair for me, I made it. Oh, you? I don't know how you're going to make it, but I'm worried about my next set of pair, please. Can I get my next pair? No.
But I think from the aspect of, like you're saying, though, we did it first, or we had this first, or this country. And did you see all the pollution and everything else that it caused?
Yeah.
China is, let's just say hypothetically, because I know it's more, 2 times bigger than America. Population wise.
No. Yeah, way.
I said hypothetically because I was like, I can't figure it out. But
300 million here, 350 million here versus a billion there. Yeah. So yeah, that's almost on the magnitude of 4. So yeah.
So 4 times more. You want cars. You want.
I'm sorry. That's me.
You want all this stuff, but you got more people. I mean, you better start thinking about carpooling or something.
But that's the thing. They are doing things in a very clean way. They definitely are. And China is the most populous country in the world, and they are going through their own industrial revolution. That they are. Thank you for that.
You know what fascinates me about this? The country has been around longer than America, and it's just now getting to that.
Well, they were a clan society, feudal society. They were doing their things separately. They were big enough that they didn't have to depend on the rest of the world. You had your own thing going on, and then when you get your walls opened up, because your walls open up to the outside world. Your walls start opening up to the outside world. That's what started to happen. You start your people get influenced, and then you start a lot of influence. Now you're losing the ways of old. Like, wait a minute, we've been around for 2,000 years and been doing good, and suddenly you want to switch it up and change. Well, look what they're doing. Well, what they're doing isn't going to last. You know, they're trying to tell you it's not going to be sustainable. You know, but they're going places and doing things. Well, okay, you can go places and do some things too. You know, and that's what they do. You know, tell them to go some places and do some things.
I mean, you got all these other different countries and continents that's been around. It's just, I just keep curious on a lot of stuff that people get lagged behind on. And like you say, you were stuck in their ways, I guess, and then they wait to the last minute to open up their doors and stuff, and then realize, wow, we're still on horse and buggy, and that car goes fast. Wait, it's gone.
Yeah, but then this is the thing, yo. It's the consumerism artificial need, whereas do they really need it? And now it's not for us to say; it's for them to say. That's the thing. We should never put yourself in the position that you already have it, telling somebody else that they don't need something. The thing is, do they really need? They have to assess where they are in life. Do I need to have a vehicle that goes 75 miles per hour when I only work, 2 miles from my place of employment? And I go to school. My kids go to school 1 mile that way. My whole life is within 3 mile radius.
I might not need it, but I want it.
This is what I'm saying. Now that's just warranted consumerism. Now, am I willing to deal with what comes with that? Now things have to go up to accommodate my want. Now I'm gonna start complaining about me having to pay for water. I used to be able to walk down to the well and get my water like that, fresh, boom, good. No. These roads are getting torn up. We need somebody to pay for this. And cars, taxes, stickers, titles, stamps, pull over. That type of thing. And that's what ends up happening.
And then you got the president for life.
Oh well, now that was a move. That was a power move. He saw the opportunity, he made it. And the thing is, he's not such an old man, so he's gonna be around a bit. He's gonna be around a bit.
Yeah. Oh man, so I guess what is the term I'm trying to use here? It's always trial and error, I guess, especially coming back to when we was talking about the clean energy, as far as with the wind turbines and solar panels and everything. I guess just like the computer. Computer was a big entity at one time. Now it's something like this.
Yeah, I mean these cell phones we have more processing power right here than we had in World War II. Then we had
1985.
right here. There you go. No problem. No, but that's that's just computational success that we have, because things have to go by the magnitude of 2, 4, 6, 8. I heard that through the system.
Yeah, like you're working out the kinks here, people. But oh man.
I got an interesting text right here. It says, according to Dutton, the 10 careers that are the highest proportion of psychopaths are number 1, CEO. Number 2, lawyer. Number 3, media, TV, radio personality.
Of course.
Number 4.
Wait. That might be us.
No. This is the internet. We're safe. Everything's safer on the internet.
Is it?
Yeah, I heard it somewhere in a web that was dark. Number 5, salesperson. Number 6, surgeon. Oh man, poor guy. Journalist. Police officer. Clergy. Chef and civil servant. Yeah, that's and that was the Dutton list. The proportion of psychopaths.
Psychopaths?
Psychopaths. People that will more likely lose it. They hang on the brink of there and not there.
You know what always got me is when these CEOs snap. Like, you got everything. What
No,
you
but think
snapping about?
this is the one thing. I do give the 1% a lot of but or a lot of, but I do give them that. But they have a job that the entire company's success or failure is being pinned on them. So I give you a lot of money, and if things go wrong, you out of there. But you are ruined. But you may even go to prison, depending on how bad it is. If we can Dick and Jane you and shoot on to somebody else, but still we're all gonna get this conspiracy rap and go down. So they have a lot on their back, and they can be fired instantly. The board said, we're going to replace you next year. You was like, but I just bought a yacht. You better go take it back. That's how easy that can happen to them.
So you don't really want to be a CEO. You want to be part of the board.
Well, being a chairman of the board would be a good thing because you can always just flex around the board. You can play the board. But once you're at the top, at the king, everybody comes for the king. Everybody comes for the king. So you don't want to be sole owner, because think about it. Sole owners, sole proprietors of their own companies who end up going public and whatnot end up getting fired by their own companies.
And that's crazy.
Something that you pour from the dirt, from the mud, from the seed, and they just took it away from you. Kept your family name on there, because that's marketing. Got to keep that up there.
So I started this company 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't even thought of until probably about, I'll give you 7 years. I'm into this, and I got a board now, and you can just get rid of me. Oh, like it was nothing. Well, I started this. We're finishing it. Like, damn.
Well, like I say, but the thing is, they'll tell you, and we'll pay you handsomely. We will pay you handsomely.
I hated the structure. I always did. Unless I was a CEO that just was out of his mind, that was doing things that was detrimental to the company, that was bringing it down, being an anchor on it. I can understand that. But if they felt like they just want to get rid of you after you built with your hands and your sweat and your tears and everything like that, and just one day it's over with because 10 people decided or voted on it. That sucks.
It sucks, but it is the way of the world. It is the way.
A dream turned into a nightmare instantly. That's just
instantly.
It's just bad.
instantly. Jeez, like I say, some people like to be rich but not famous. The problem is, even being rich, you can get easily.
Yeah. True indeed.
Easily.
I see why they only want to get their kids. Oh, no, I'm not giving this kid this.
That's true.
Was that
Yeah, the job is high pressure. Yeah.
Who was that?
That's that is Wayne.
What's my man's name? Still drives his Volvo. Warren Buffett.
Warren ain't giving my granddaughter nothing, Buffett. Warren, get your own damn money, Buffett. Warren, I got billions in the bank and 20 in the tank. Buffett.
And I always thought he was kind of mean when he was
saying He is. Oh my God, are we getting a call to the show? Ain't a call to the show?
I thought I put it on you.
See, we're going to have to check you like the TSA.
Hey, you want to do that. But yeah, man, I really understand why he's doing that now, What do you learn when you do that? When somebody just gives you money they made, even though you're a parent.
Yeah, that's true.
So again, man, I didn't say anything profanity.
Yeah, I'm about to say you don't learn shit. You don't learn jack shit. So, yeah, that's the number you would type in right there, and you'll be able to pull up the you'll be able to pull that up.
Trial and error. So, but like I say, man, yeah. what do you learn?
Don't learn much. Jack Snap. 1089. Okay. So it's this number right here. Let me share it with you, and I'll show you. But yeah, you I mean, you don't learn anything, but to like completely toss them on their behinds, that's different. But because that's a problem that you failed. Because if they're adults and they're this way, you were screwing them all along the way. Now if they just suddenly became that way, hanging out with the wrong people, all that type of thing, whatnot. That's different. But them just doing it.
Well, some feel like if you are telling them that they're not going to be able to get this from you and everything, they're going to try to get their attention or try to punish you some kind of way. So they're going to try to mix up with the wrong crowd and do some just dastardly things.
Again, well, who's that go to? That's the animal that you raised.
You actually put that on the adult.
Yeah, I will. I'll put that quickly on the adult because, like I say, your children come to you as blank slates, completely blank slates. If you can blame a soldier's behavior on their on their superiors, you can do the same for the child. Same thing. Oh yeah, why did it show up? Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But
Oh, let's see.
that's a psychology for you.
Control it. We can control it from there. Yeah, he said it's society.
Yeah, most definitely. Because like I say, I don't say it's 100% one's fault, 100% another's fault. Now, yeah, you being an adult and you have more wisdom and more experience. You the one who's supposed to be guiding, but
You're supposed to. And if you're not
everything is their fault. What the kid does.
I wouldn't say everything is your fault, but everything is your fault. Meaning that you have complete dominion over this child. That people need to stop acting like children are small adults. No, they're partially retarded human beings. They don't have the full information as yet, or how to align all that information together yet.
You call them that? I just say they don't have a full attention yet.
No, meaning that their minds are not functioning to the 100%. They're just firing. They're like squirrel, cat, dog. They everywhere. So it's your job to teach them how to rein it in. And for the most part, the majority of parents all do it. It's the ones that get it wrong and the ones that get it really wrong. That's when it's bad.
I've seen some kids who actually were sharper than their parents.
Sharper what? Oh, as far as yeah. Because then you will have kids who take the nurturing that their parents were giving them initially, and they multiplied it, and suddenly they became the nurturer of their parent. I've seen that a lot. I've seen a lot of small children taking care of their adult parent, like not take care of I'm gonna go to work for you type of thing, but it's cold outside. Make sure you got your coat on. That type of thing. They multiply. That's why I say taking care of children is one of the most honorable jobs you can have. It's like, man, I did it for volunteer work, at the park system, teaching handicapped children how to play soccer and after school programs and stuff like that. So I did that for a few years, and that was cool. I liked it, even though the kids were bigger than me. But
there's always been a catch. Always a catch.
It was strong, so strong. Like Jesus. But yeah, the minds haven't really developed. Yeah, the minds have not fully developed. That is true.
You must got another message or something.
Yeah, the message just come up on the screen here. So we're out there. I took off the automatic because the automatic was risky. When it just automatically pops across the screen, you don't know what somebody's going to type. I can't just let random thoughts get out there to the world. I got to be the gatekeeper of that. Like, no. You would not say that.
I think we got a lot of civilized listeners.
Yeah, for the most part, our listeners are civilized.
And I think that we will catch the ones who ain't civilized.
Catch them in the replay. Catch them in the replay. And speaking of replay, where we at on time right now? We are.
He loves that button.
Well, hey, it's one of those things. Give a man a button, he gonna push it.
Several times.
Several times. He's a button pusher. All right, we at the hour 35-minute mark. Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, like I say, you're absolutely right. I am. I like this one too. This is another stream where it's constantly it's collecting all the chats and streaming them up there. For right now we are pushing hard on YouTube, which is good. Working with working with children with autism. Let me bring it up there on the screen. And see, that's what you can do with the tablet. You know, you can actually have go and then when you send it, it'll automatically go here. Then that way I can put automatic back on, and I don't have to gatekeeper. It'll just go do its thing. Yeah. That's important, especially with, there are no throwaway children, throwaway adults. There are plenty of throwaway adults. I swear I want to carry a garbage bag around and some.
That wouldn't be enough. You need a dumpster.
Oh, no, I'm not taking the whole body. I'm taking the medulla oblongata right there. I'm like, you don't need that.
Oh, everything else is waste.
All the rest of this is waste. Flush it. Flush it down.
Wow. Well, you said, what, an hour and 35 minutes, right?
Yeah, the hour 35-minute mark. All right. Okay, that will round it up for today. We did what we can. Thank you. We did what we came to do. We did. I mean, I tried to play ball with these ass clowns. We did what we came to do. Number 3 in the hole, we have improved lighting. Now you can see us better.
I think they know that, man.
I'm just saying, I want to put it out there. I like my accomplishments covered with cherries.
I'm gonna tell you everything we got here. I wouldn't want to know everything we got.
Well, I ain't gonna tell you what I got. I'm gonna tell you how it look. Well, you see how it looks. It speaks for itself. You're gonna compare last week's stream with this stream and the stream before the stream with the stream. And next week it's gonna be even. And then the week after that, I'm gonna have Barbara Streisand in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Barbara Streisand. I don't even know.
You ask her how she walks around with her nose. But anyway.
Yeah, it is a nose. It's a honker. But I ain't talking.
But it was like another president that's wrapped.
Yeah, that's over for now. Next month, when we come back, it will be February.
Black History Month, my birthday month.
Our assigned Black History Month.
And we definitely gonna have some interesting topics.
Let me see. Talk closer to the microphone.
Interesting topics.
Oh yeah, that's where it is. You were far away from the microphone.
You think I know this already?
Yeah, it stretches all the way out to you.
Okay.
Because I was getting some people saying that they could not hear you. I was like, you know what they say about that. Yeah, I'll have fun with that.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, gotta definitely keep yourself closed. But that will wrap us up for tonight. Thank you guys for listening who were here in the live. Those in the repeat of the play, it's on there. Read that, share that with your friends. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Remember, I am D. Romano.
And Don Regal.
And we are AiQ, all in question, answering your everyday problems. Do you understand me? Do you understand me?
I think they do.
I think they do.
Let's
do.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
I want to know answers. I want them now.